Find some people that's gonna hold you accountable. I don't care about none of that shit that Mark just said. Like y'all need to find somebody that's gonna hold you accountable. That's gonna tell you when
Big
your shit
facts.
stink. Like, like screw all that that philosophical shit that he just said. It ain't even that deep, bro. It is. I promise you, it's
Facts.
not even that deep, bro. Just hang around some folks that's gonna tell you about yourself, and they gonna tell you about yourself on a realistic basis. Like, find somebody who is where you want to be at. Find somebody that's where you want to be at, and let them tell you about yourself. Let them tell you about yourself. Because for real, most of y'all, the reason why y'all in the situation y'all in now, is you ain't got no goals. You like real talk. You ain't got no goals. You don't fantasize about nothing. You ain't got no lifestyle you want to live. And like, I feel like everybody has a life that they aspire to be a part of, right?
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button, because we do this for y'all, because we love y'all. Uh, what's up, Mac? How we been? How's your week been, sir?
Chaotic,
Chaotic. Come on,
chaotic. Yeah, bro.
married
Um,
man, it's already
in the,
chaotic.
in the Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how the game go, man. When you making things happen, you just end up with a lot of stuff on your plate, man. It's just how it is.
Oh,
And what Spider-Man said,
with
with
great
great
power
with
comes
great
great
power comes great
responsibility.
responsibility. So, I've been put in a position where things don't look normal anymore. They things are expanding. And I didn't think about it until Herb said what he said to us, man. And I was like, yo, that's real life, dog. Like you
Mm-hmm.
really living what that man is saying right now. That's why it hit me so hard, bro. 'Cause I'm like, hey, I gotta use her strengths and my weaknesses and put them together, and we make a recipe out of that, boy. So like, it's been real crazy. It's been a lot of life plans happening in the background. So like everything is coming full circle, man. We got a few things coming up. Um, her friend was in town, so like that kind of spilled over into our week a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I I like planes got laid over and all that other stuff like that, so she ended up staying a little longer than um than expected. Got to chop it up with her. Not as much as I would like to, but that it is what it is. She had to go back to Colorado. But anyway, man, it was I'm coming down from a high right now. Real talk, like I feel it. People keep asking me, do I feel different? And I'm like, nah, not really, because it's like we were doing this already. So like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like the first joint I was playing house. Like this is real. Like I stepped into the big leagues now. So that's how I feel right now, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, that is that's great. That's great. Seeing y'all, the whole thing was amazing. Um, thank you for inviting us. It was a wonderful event. It was a little bit chilly, but we
Could have
got
been
through it
worse.
with the effects. Um,
I saw the weather on the way out the house.
it was amazing though. I'm happy for y'all. And it's interesting when people like birthdays, big events like that. There's always uh a group of people that kind of, I'm not gonna say like misconstrue the meaning of it, but like they kind of take it out of proportion to ask you those questions like, do you feel different? Do you feel older? For some people, and not to downplay it's kind of just another day, but like it's another day as in you're moving forward to something greater. Another year around the year, another year around the planet or whatever. It should be thought of as, all right, this is another year I add to that chapter of, who is Aaron Mack, who is Marcus Morton, who is, you know, my legacy. What is my legacy, Uh so that's pretty interesting that, you got that uh past you, and now you can move forward with something bigger, better. Like you said, you guys have been doing this for a while. The whole living together, the working together to build something, to build a legacy. So I'm I'm proud of you guys. That
Thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for showing up, man. Glad it didn't get too awkward, but it is what it is. How I do it. It do seem to be a environmental thing when people ask those questions. That question like, uh, um, how does it feel? Or they come up with to you be like, Mr. Married Man, like stuff like that. Just like little live remarks. Like it does seem to be an environmental thing because like a certain group of people only ask that. Like it ain't like that ain't that's not a conversation all the way around. Because like some of our people who actually experience life a little bit more, they tend to ask a few. They tend to ask a few different questions, like
Oh yeah.
what is your plans from here?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What's next?
where do you guys see yourself in 5 years? They ask questions like that. So the people with money, they asking different questions. But the people who I just got told yesterday, bro, and I was so appalled that this even came out of somebody's mouth. Not even 4 days after I got married, but this woman asked me. She said, "So how does it feel to be a married man?" I was like, yeah, it's cool. We were already doing the married thing, so we just made it official." She was like, "Yep, got that right." Now, she was like, "Now everything gonna be a little bit different." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" She was like, "See, at first you had a little spat, and y'all could just walk away from you could just walk away from her, but now it it's gonna cost you a little bit." And I'm like, why the fuck would you even say that? And this ain't like some young person. Like this is somebody who
Season.
is older and she's married herself. And I'm like, why the fuck would you say that?
Hmm.
Like even if it was just casual conversation, why would that even come out your mouth? Like why would you even put that energy out there?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I think it's like a accountability piece. Like people like that, or people who think like that, it's like they have no regards for their partner. Like, how can you sit there and think that you have this spat, and now this person owes you? This person has to win you back or something, or like they gotta give you this fancy gift or something to make
Mm-hmm.
things right, to put
Mm-hmm.
things under the bridge. Like, y'all can't talk about it like adults. Y'all have to do this whole around the world trip. I gotta apologize, then I gotta buy a gift, I gotta go get some roses, I gotta do all the chores and all this other stuff. Like, you like just unload all this work on somebody just over uh disagreement. uh uh argument that you may or may not have been right. Like a civil conversation could have take care of all of that. But because you couldn't get out of your feelings, your personal way of thinking, your own way of thinking, because you couldn't
Being
see
so defensive.
it right, because you
Mhm.
couldn't see the situation from their eyes, you just totally shut them out, shut them down. Now they have to think like you also. Like they have to conform to you and
Mhm.
also do all this stuff to make you feel better
Mhm.
because you couldn't see the situation from their point. And y'all both could have been right. There's situations where both parties are right,
Absolutely.
but because they weren't your right, they want your way of right. They gotta jump through a flaming hoop. They gotta
Mhm.
do a backflip, a somersault with a triple reverse backflip, and then land on their feet. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, it's one thing to be it's one thing to have a civil conversation, but even if you having a civil conversation with somebody
Mm.
and they still being defensive, like it don't really matter. It don't really
Mm.
matter because they trying to defend themselves. They ain't trying to defend the whole unit, and by unit I mean the two of y'all. They trying to defend them. So
Mm.
like you can't be defensive in a conversation about what's going on in your relationship. Like that's not how it work. And that's why ultimately um why somebody told me once before, they was like, you know what, young man, if you in a relationship with somebody and y'all fighting to keep it alive and you realize you're the only one fighting, are you really in a relationship? But I realized like, yo, we was just fighting like cats and dogs just for no reason. Like there was no coming to the middle. Like there was no my side is let's look at view each other's sides. There was just a conversation of this is why you wrong. Okay, can I talk now? No.
Mm.
You finished? Can I talk now? No. Yeah. 2 days later, can I talk now? No. You're wrong. Like, all right, cool. Yeah. Bye. So like, if you're gonna be defensive, you gotta realize like, yo, this is not war. Like some stupid people say, this
Love is war.
is
Some people say
love
that.
is war. Love is
Hmm.
war. Like, no, it's dumb, bruh. Like, if you in a relationship that's wholesome and
Hmm.
and pure in its intentions, like if both people care about one another, like I promise you, y'all, like I'm just being real. If it wasn't for the relationship, if it wasn't for the relationship that I'm in now, I wouldn't even believe it, bro. Like I can't even tell you the last time Melissa and I got into a like an argument. Like I think she was still living where with her mom at the time, and she was having some troubles trying to grasp reality on a situation that was
Hmm.
going on at home. And I think that was actually the last time we ever had a real argument. I ain't trying to say I was right about the situation. I'm just saying like, yo, it's something that we need to do, and you keeping us from doing that, and she won't trying to hear that shit. Like I'm just being real with you, but in this relationship that I'm in now, bro, like if I wasn't in it, I wouldn't even believe it when I say that like people should be able to sit down and have a conversation without yelling, like a disagreement without yelling. But there are some people who like as soon as they disagree with something, they all in it.
Hmm. Hmm. And that's not
Right.
only that's not only with relationships. That's with partnerships, with businesses, with
Mm-hmm.
careers. Like you have to be able to sit down and talk with a person, like correct a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're withholding the business from being at 100% or just getting the job done in general. Like right now, we got 100 or we got 99 obstacles that we gotta jump over, and you're adding another one, making it 100. You're making this 10 times worse than it needs to be, and all you have to do, come in, do your work, you know, be assigned and stay assigned to where we put you, and just get the job done, and everything's fine. But like you said, because people they get into themselves, they get defensive, they wanna
Mm-hmm.
they wanna sit there and have a whole conversation of why they believe that this ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
When the situation has been it's already been, thought of, it's already been handled, it's already been decided, and they just want to sit there and talk about how they can get out or how they can get you to get out of this situation, and it's just like it it ain't happening. Like there's nothing we could do, and then they hold up this process. They turn a 5-minute situation or a 10-minute situation into a whole hour, or vice versa, and it's just like we could have avoided all of this if you would just came in, done what you need to do, be a team player, and get the job done.
See that team player that one of the reasons why I even wanted to bring this up in the first place, because like that team player thing is biased, bro. Like it don't work the same for everybody else. It just depends on who you know and how many connections you got, bro. And like I learned as being the guy at Vanilla who ain't got all the connections, the one that just kind of go to himself or whatever. That like, and be me being like as analytical as I am,
Mm.
and always and cynical as I am, always expecting people to do dirt. Like I can see certain things that other people don't. Like people think that they doing stuff and they just kind of hide in the background, and I'm just like, that didn't look right. That didn't sound right, or they have a conversation with somebody, and I'm overhearing the conversation. I'm like, that make me feel some type of way. But it is what it is. Like so, the case that I wanted to bring up, right,
Mm.
and this is based off of some things that happened. Um, man, it's crazy, yo, because it's like we grown, man. We are full grown adults, but for some reason, bro, some of y'all need to be told the right thing every single day of your lives. Like it don't matter if somebody teach you right from wrong. It don't matter, how many times your parents, when they raise you, they say, don't touch this fire. Don't touch it. It's hot. It'll burn you. Don't touch it. Every time they see you, every single day, they got to tell you, don't touch this fire. It's hot. It'll burn you. And you will burn yourself on the fire after 20 times of them telling you not to touch this fire. And then after you heal up from it, you will still go back and touch the fire. Some of y'all still like that, bro. Some of y'all still like that. You got to be told what the right thing to do is every single day of your lives. And how do I know that? It's because like everybody has been told to play the game the way the game is meant to be played. Every single person has been told to play the game the way it was supposed to be played. Yet whenever old boy that we were talking about on one of the recent episodes, whenever he was going for a promotion, he had to be taught how to play the game again because he forgot at some point, like, yo, this is not how, like, you playing the game the way you want to play it. But
Mm.
my man had to be told again on numerous occasions, like, bro, that's not how you play this. That ain't the way to go. You about to lose everything you got right now. So like some of y'all had to be told every single day, like, don't do this because this is we had to explain the reason to you. And for whatever quiet as it's kept, bro, I gotta be the one that tells people every single day what they doing wrong
Mm.
and how to do it right all over again. I gotta teach people how to do right, and I'm supposed to inspire people to do right And the thing is, and like even with this podcast, bro, there could be somebody listening listening to every episode of this podcast, bro, and being told what to do, exactly what to do, as it's supposed to be done, and they could completely ignore the advice, bro. Like you could tell somebody about their old situation, their at home situation, their work life situation, bro. Like there's been moments where I've been able to pinpoint what's going wrong in somebody's life just by how they act and how they portray themselves on the job, bro. Like it's literally that deep. But for whatever reason, you could tell these people exactly what to do, exactly what they're doing wrong, and they'll look at you and be like, "Nah, man, but you don't understand, bro. This is that happening, blah, blah, blah happening." I'm like,
Yeah.
you know right from wrong, man. We ain't got to continue going bouncing around this horse like this, bro, because eventually one of us gonna get kicked. Like for real, like it ain't gonna be me. I promise you it ain't, because I'm gonna walk all about my business, and you the one that gotta live in this funk. So like at some point, this horse is gonna kick. So like you might as well go ahead and conform to what's going on right now and fix what you got in front of you. But for whatever reason, man, there's some people out here who much rather be doing wrong. And like for whatever reason, like we work in an environment, right? Because let's be real. Everybody ain't on that business stuff. Like you just said that, you got people at work, or I guess you were talking about the situation, some situations at work or whatever, and like man, the way I've been saying stuff, man. It's like yo, like I'm being held accountable for doing stuff right, doing stuff in a certain way, in a certain fashion, and then you got somebody who is keeping you from making it happen. But then when you ask them about making it happen, they get mad at you. Then you go tell the person who's keeping you accountable for making something happen a certain way, and then they tell you like, "Oh, well, did you talk to him?" It was like, "Yeah, I talked to him. That's why I ended up getting cussed out." Like, what are we talking about? Like, you telling me I got to do this job in a certain way, and this person over here is keeping me from doing it in a certain way. So what do you want me to do? How are you going to advance in this? Because at this point it's out of my wheelhouse. But for whatever reason, we live in a culture, in a society where people aren't being held accountable for the things that they're doing wrong. And just because it ain't a crime, we don't even turn the eye to it.
But I mean, in our society, even if it's a crime, certain people get away with it. Certain people get even harsher sentences for it. But we
Back
ain't
to
gotta.
back to my original point. Like if you got connections, yes, you can.
Yeah. Um. That's great because now that you said it, I've just noticed like not just noticed, but it relates to a bunch of stuff I've been seeing on like social media from uh I think it was middle school, high school,
Mm-hmm.
uh person that had transitioned uh went up against a team in sports, and they were dominating the team, and
Mm-hmm.
it, it's like how do you allow that, you know and uh fast forward, it had went viral. This video had went viral, and our president Donald Trump had some word. Well, no, previous president Donald Trump had some words for it, and he was like, you know he's not a sports fan, but if he would he doesn't even like LeBron James, but he was like, he would ask LeBron James, hey, do you want to transition? He'll get a whole bunch of guys to transition, and he would dominate the basketball field on the women's court. And
I'm
it's
sorry.
like
What?
it was
What?
I'm I'm trying to water it down. I'm not but it's like with it's with the, like you said, with the right connections and all this other stuff, it's like you can do whatever you want. Like literally, there's people out here that believe that they're untouchable. They can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. And it's like, when can you hold them accountable, or when does the stuff hit the fan and you know they I don't know, their actions get, put up against them. Like how do you go through life knowing that there's something
Well, see,
you could never reach that point? Like you should, I don't know how to word it.
try
How do
again,
you
because I'm
how do you live life knowing that people are out there, kind of like another person we've talked about, they believe that the world is so big that what they can do wouldn't make a difference in the world. When you have people like that kind of, prove them right. Like whatever you do, you can never do what they do, or you
but
can
I
easily
don't
be
I
huh.
don't necessarily believe that scenario. Like him saying that, like he just say that
Mm-hmm.
because he weak. And
Mm-hmm.
like if you weak, like you if you
True.
weak, you stay in the weak motherfucker's place. Like that's like real talk. Like if you feel like that, then you stay doing what you doing. But if you
Mm-hmm.
doing it,
True.
like for real, like you can't honestly believe that if you being defiant to the system. Know what I'm saying? Like you can say that, but then like in the back of your mind, you just asking yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard? Why am I doing the right thing when nobody else is doing it? Like for real,
Mm-hmm.
like if you feel like that, you can't you not about to do all that. You about to stay where you at and do the right thing, quote unquote. You about to do everything that you can because you don't want anybody looking at you that as like you're doing the wrong thing. So I don't feel that. Like I ain't feeling that at all. So like um the only thing I'm saying, bruh, and like we live in a culture where people not holding each other accountable, and the fact that they not holding each other accountable is creating a whole different dichotomy to the culture where people think that I can do anything and everything, say anything that I want to anybody that I want, and there's no consequences. It's almost like a child growing up and he being praised too much, way too much. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what happened to. I think that's what happened to my homie that went to night shift. He got praised way too much growing up. And maybe one parent praised him too much, and the other parent didn't praise him enough. But whatever it was, it created something inside of him. It created FOMO. It created a sense of self-inflation. It created a sense of arrogance in him, and for whatever reason, he let that translate into his adult life, and he thought he was the shit everywhere he went. He thought he couldn't do nothing wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
it's because he had never been held accountable to doing the right thing. And when you're not held accountable to doing the right thing, bro, it creates a whole different situation, bro. A whole different situation. A plane going off course for 1 inch, 1 inch going off course, and 1 inch could end up hundreds of miles away from its destination when it's done making the trip, bro. Like I just want everybody to understand that not being held accountable is the same sense of that plane. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you veer to the left or the right at any point and somebody don't hold you accountable, you think your right is right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I'm losing patience with, my because like we work in an environment where grown men and women are turning against each other because we got somebody over top of you. You got somebody over top of you telling you that they're not holding you accountable for doing something. So you think everything you doing is right. I got somebody on top of me holding me accountable for something. It falls over into your category, your realm, and then I go ask you for what my boss is asking me for. Then you get pissed off at me. My boss is telling me to go talk to you again. I go talk to your manager because your manager it's over top of you, but your manager ain't telling you this a disconnect here. So then nobody is being corrected, and now you pissed off at me, and now we going at it, and they get to ride away scot-free with no consequences, bro. That's the part that I'm talking about. Like, yo, there's so much of that going on, and people are looking out for themselves, bro. Like, I don't care which way you put it. Like, it's like shit go down. They like, oh. Nah, bro. I ain't got nothing to do with that. They like, oh, no, that's them. That's them. No, but they your PA though. No, that's them. That's them. That's them. Nah, bro. It's like people are, and this goes back to the conversation I was having about one of my old managers, bro. Like they are, and the only reason why it's pissing me off, bro, is because I got to be the one to deal with the consequences when they get to be the ones to move up, bro, and they get to be the ones to get promoted, and they get to go ride off into the sunset like ain't nothing even happened, bro. Meanwhile, I got to deal with the backlash. I gotta be the one that get the stories told about me at the end of the day, because I tried to come down to be a hard ass on my associates because of something that they don't get held accountable to on a regular basis. And when I did try to have a conversation with them, my manager looking at me like, oh, how you let this get so out of hand? Bro, you told me to go talk to them. Like, what do we have? What are we doing here? So like, I brought that up, man, because it's like I can't see that translating well into like things that people are trying to do outside of work. Like, I can't imagine you doing the wrong thing at work and then going to do the right thing at home, bro. I don't see that.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
it's like going back to that plane that's 1 inch off of its course. And a lot of times people have the opportunity to correct it, or rewind or get back on track, but people like to like stand their ground. Like they in the wrong, but they know they wrong, but because
Yeah, wrong.
whatever reason, they just want to stand their ground and just be that stick in the mud, or be that rod in a pile of BS. And they just standing in it. They build this whole false reality over they wrongdoings, and like you said,
Mhm.
it it's no way you can go to your home and be the saint after you done did all this dirt at the job. It's like we see it. It's plain as day. People, they come to the job with whole wives at home, whole families at home, and they got a whole family at work, and not the good kind, not the coworker situation, but whole family, whole other wife, brother, sister that they romantically involved in at
Like,
work and whatever.
my man's got a wife at home, a work wife at work, and a work girlfriend,
All at the same place.
all at the same place.
And it's like, how do you build this
Oh, you forgot
delusional
the biggest
image?
part. You forgot the biggest part. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Come to you every day smiling, say good morning. You know, uh, uh, uh. He the best of friends with everybody. He cool with everybody. And there's another thing. Like you said, no one holds him accountable. No one pulls him aside and be like, "Hey, don't you got a wife at home? What are you doing?" If your wife know, she would come up here
Uh,
and shut
I,
this entire place down.
I don't know who you talking about, but like that literally happened to me with one of my coworkers,
What
and
you
that
mean?
man cussed me out, bruh.
That's like half the building. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that man cussed me out, bruh.
Because you tried to correct him?
I don't know if I was trying to correct him or just like kind of
Just
trying to
asking the
shed light
question?
on the situation.
Oh,
And I asked the question. I was like, because his question was, I don't know why my wife is tripping. I don't know why she acting like that. She's so insecure. And I was like, so have you cheated on her before? Nah, man, it won't like that. I just was talking to Shorty and blase splitting.
What?
I
It
was
was a
like, but
yes or no question.
that kind of sound like she has a reason to be insecure. So don't give her a reason, maybe. My man cussed me out, bro. I, I was like, look, man, look, I'm just trying to let you know that the road that you going down, it don't necessarily it don't go well at the end, bro. Like either
Not
you
at
how
all.
long you been married? He told me how long he been married. I like, look, it kind of sounds like y'all, you at a place where you kind of bored. You probably need to talk to her about this, bro. Just don't try to work it out on your own, man. You in a
Facts.
relationship and y'all been married for a while, so come on, man. Hey, then he pulled the young buck card. I was like, you know what? You got it.
Well,
I ain't
that's
been here
another
before.
thing.
I ain't been here before.
People try to solve they problems with outside sources, with like with partnerships, with relationships, with businesses, with careers. They always look outwards for the newest and latest thing to help them uh bring their business up or bring their relationship out of the slumps or whatever, and it's like you could you could make a whole castle, you can make a kingdom with the resources you have. Like if you have a guitar, an acoustic guitar, you know it doesn't take nothing but to learn that guitar, uh get a couple songs under your belt, and you can hit the corner and you can make a good little chain. But because you have this acoustic guitar, because it's old, because it's probably been passed down just one generation, it's not the newest and latest. You over there fantasizing or building this fantasy about this new great electric guitar that you seen, that you don't even practice the acoustic guitar that you got for free.
Let me add to that. You also making excuses about why you can't play because you don't have a new guitar. Go ahead.
And it's like, you got the resources. The resources are there, like I just said, but you're not using them. You like you said, you're thinking of the greatest thing, and you making excuses. You won't even practice at all. You won't even look up online, the free tutorials that there is for acoustic guitar on YouTube or Google or anything like that. you know, and you could already be a step ahead. Like, you could know how to play by ear, or you know how to sight read, and you
Oh
won't
yeah.
you won't push any of that because you done already counted yourself out because you ain't got the newest and latest.
Yep. Yep. And some that and just to finish that off, like
Hmm.
whether you play the song on the acoustic guitar or play it on the electric guitar, it's still the same song.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Crazy
you didn't
enough.
follow but you didn't follow the rules.
Hmm. And you won't even need as much or put as much in acoustic guitar than electric guitar. With electric guitar, you still need an amp. You need to figure out a way to power that
Yeah.
amp.
Yeah.
You gotta you can't take electric guitar on the street without an
No,
outlet,
no.
or I think there is some like wireless things, but you gotta deal with batteries. Like, you
Yeah, the
gotta get
battery.
power to that thing somehow. Acoustic guitar, you just take that junk out, get comfortable, lay on something, sit on something,
Mm-hmm.
prop your knee up, and boom, you just start playing.
Yep.
Can't do that with electric guitar.
But you sat up here thinking that the tool was gonna make a whole difference. Like
Mm.
some people's like they like, well, this is just here, and I'm just gonna be like that here. I just don't like y'all. When I come here and work on the clock, I don't like y'all. So like I'm just gonna do that here. But like I'm like, no, that ain't how that work. Because if you like that here, like I said before, you're here for 40 hours a week. It's a long time to build a habit. It's a long time to build a habit, bro. I promise you it is. So like you being like that here, you're probably gonna be like this everywhere. And you thinking that you can't reach prosperity because you can't, because you just don't have something going on the outside. But you got to understand, like the law of attraction is a real thing. Like you got to understand that, because if you're acting like this now, means that you're unappreciative of what's going on in front of you, meaning that the universe isn't going to give you anything on the outside either. So if I don't appreciate my job for what it is, like, I've learned, I said I brought up this episode because I was talking about how I don't have the patience to correct people anymore who ain't getting corrected. Like I'm there right now, but at the same time, I'm appreciative of my job the way it is, because I can just do what I need to do. I can come home, it's paying the bills, it's paying for my businesses or whatever. Got some play stuff coming up that I want to do. So, it's paying for that for right now. Like I'm appreciative for what it is, because I know if I'm appreciative of it, then I could clearly think myself out of the situation that I'm in now. But if I'm unappreciative of it, I'm angry towards it all the time. Anger takes a lot of energy, y'all. Anger takes a lot of energy. It takes more muscles. It takes more muscles than it do to frown than it does to smile, bro.
Yeah.
Like anger takes a lot of energy. I promise you. Whenever I'm angry about something, I get sleepy. Though. Like I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like it takes a lot of energy from you. So if you expending a lot of energy on anger, then you can't be effective in your thinking outside of this situation, because you're so angry with it that you take that anger home, bro. And ain't nobody correcting you at the house, so you just gonna keep being angry at home, because that chances are that, I mean, most people, bro, like I don't know too many people doing self-development in this environment. It is what it is. So you take that anger home, and your spouse don't know how to deal with it, because your spouse ain't doing personal self-development either.
Probably go
So
home
both of
and she's like,
so you go ahead.
I was gonna say they probably go home and they spouse or they partner, whatever, they instead of correcting, they, like you said, they praise them too much. They praise them. They got that home cooked meal. They like, oh, you had a tough day. It's gonna be all right. All this other stuff. You just gotta work there until you work up the ladder, or until you can
Mm-hmm.
find a better shift or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that person, they believe that. They eat that. Oh, maybe I do need to find a better shift. You
So
still
that
gonna be there. Still gonna be
they
there for 40
validating your
hours.
bad behavior.
Right?
They validating your bad behavior, bro. That's exactly what's going on. You get to feel real good about yourself for doing the wrong thing. Or the opposite end of that spectrum, you go home pissed. Your spouse don't know what you pissed about. Your spouse get pissed because you pissed, because you couldn't leave work at work, and you mad at your spouse because they don't let you be a man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It gets deep, bro. Like I promise you, like
Yeah.
it gets so deep, man. Because people don't, and not only are people not being held accountable, you got people who get pissed when they get held accountable.
Yep. There's
You
a
got people who fly off the flipping handle whenever you try to tell them that they're doing something wrong, bro.
mm-hmm. We got a seasoned associate on my shift, on the latter part of my shift. Uh he don't like being told what to do, even though he's in the position where he needs to be told what to do.
All the time.
If what he's being told goes against what he wants to do that day, He flies off the rail. He has
And listen to
whole
that.
fit, whole
Listen to
baby
that.
fit. I mean, we was told to go somewhere to another department, and I swear it looked like this old dude was about to cry. I was like, dog, what are you doing? I'll go home right now. I'll go home right now. I don't need to be here. And I'm like,
That's fine. That's your money.
dog, it's not that serious.
Take you and your rat tail back to your car. Get your ass on.
Imagine it was. He cut it off. It's not
Bro,
there no more.
it's getting. I'm telling you, dog. That's what, and that was one of the reasons why I'm losing my patience, because it's getting so repetitive, dog. Like
Yep.
it's the same shit. It's the same shit year over year, year over year. Y'all doing the same exact thing, having the same exact struggle. But anytime somebody try to correct you, not necessarily correct your actions, but correct your mindset. We can't even correct your mindset because you too closed off to everything. Like, so what is the point?
My thing is, like, I don't even stay down there that long. Like, at least he get called back. I'd be there all day. I don't mind
Yeah, that's because you don't cry about it.
it.
You gotta go to the death. You got every time you drop off a cage, you gotta cry about it. Every time you drop off a cage in the drop zone over there by the desk, you gotta hop off the joint and you gotta walk over there and just be like, man, this is bullshit, man. Blah 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 blah. Because we live in an environment where if you're doing the wrong thing, you get rewarded for doing the wrong thing. You get and I don't necessarily say you get rewarded because you doing the wrong thing. You get
get your way,
rewarded
though.
because somebody else ain't got the patience to correct you either. So they just give you what you want so you can get the fuck out their face.
Yep. But I mean,
And I've
like,
seen that happen on multiple occasions, bro. Like we were having a conversation with senior leadership recently. I don't even know if I'm able to say this, but like, ain't nobody listening. But ain't nobody listening from that group, I don't think. But bless you. But we had a whole session with one of the senior leaders, and this man wrote down all of our problems. He wrote down all of the barriers that we're having. Because like I said, wow, we still, whether or not that whole situation with Coco happened or not, we still getting held accountable for the same shit and still ain't getting what we want. So that's neither here or there. But we talked about the actual problem. We talked about all these things, these things that we brought up, and for whatever reason, my man looks at us and was like, "Yeah, you guys never like." This was like later down the line. This man says, "Well, did you escalate these problems to your leadership?" We looked at each other and was like, "Yeah, we talked to you about it." My man looks at us and said, "Oh, what? I don't recall this conversation." It was like, "What do you?"
That's why we're having it now, right?
No, this was later. Like we've already had this conversation. My man looked at us and was like, "Yeah, I don't recall having that conversation with you."
Oh wow.
It won't even. I mean, granted, it was a while ago. It was like 3 or 4 months ago we had that conversation. But we were still in his office. He still wrote this shit down. And my man looked at us and was like, "Yeah, did you escalate this?" Like, yeah, we escalated it to you. We escalated to the top of the top.
That's crazy.
And you know what? Because nobody's holding anybody accountable, nobody's gonna hold him accountable for it either. He still get to go on about his day. He still get to ignore the problem. Meanwhile, the problem still falls back on me.
That is insane. But we've been over. Not I ain't gonna say over this before, but like that's the culture. That's the atmosphere. That's that building. That's our workplace, and there's a lot of workplaces like it. Uh, it's like a pass off effect. Like someone gets a problem, they don't want to deal with it, so they pass it down the line, and then somewhere in the whole cycle, there's someone that picks the smallest stick, and usually the person that picks the smallest stick is that designated person for until the building shuts down, and sadly that's our department. And maybe it's some other departments that have that person that gets that short end of the stick, and they just have to kind of like deal with it. Sad to say.
I've managed I've managed to play that roles in both inbound and outbound at this point, so I know exactly what jobs to stay away from at this point.
it's it's insane. It's point blank insanity that people can come into a workplace, do the same thing over and over again, have the same problems over and over again
Over and over.
with no solution.
And that's the part that I'm pissed about.
And you would think that somebody or a group of some people, higher and lower, would come together and agree that, hey, this section right here, this problem, it's messed up. What can we do to fix it? And then the higher ups, they write it down. That is a very good call out. Thank you for calling that out. Nothing changed.
Yep. Yep. And no one holds them accountable to changing it. Until the performance isn't as good as they want it to be, and then all of a sudden they come in to talk to me like, "Hey, what's happening here?" Tell them the situation. They look at me and be like, "So how could you be better at dealing with this problem?" And then I give them my gripes and complaints, and then they look at me and they say, "Well, maybe you're probably not the best guy for this job."
Come on.
Yeah, that's why I don't complain about nothing no more. I just let shit happen the way it is. I'm like, if y'all want to be idiots about it, all means go ahead. But I won't wrap my energy into it. 'Cause we see how that worked out for some other folks, and I can't afford to lose my job right now. So like, it seems like that's usually where it comes down to. Like, you start complaining about stuff, you become a problem, and yep. Go ahead, yeah, man. That's my gripe and complaint.
So people, uh, a couple of things. One, um, if you're that person that knight in shining armor that goes to work, that does the job, doesn't complain too much, don't don't let your environment conform you into uh something you're not. That negative, dark, evil void. Uh, use the tools that your job, no matter how janky, no matter how old that those tools are, no matter what they look like, use those tools to dig yourself out or get yourself out of those trenches to where you can be in a better place. You can provide a better place for others. Um, the negative people out there, just stay out the way. Just do your job. I understand it might be annoying. You got to deal with people every day. You might not want to just do what you can, not what you can't, and just keep it pushing. All right. Uh, if you're listening to this and you believe that you are that person that wants to do better, but for some reason you keep coming to the job and you're pissed off and you're going home pissed off, reevaluate what you want to do in life, what you're going to work for. Usually that why of why you're going to work should be that motivating factor to where you can go to work and, all right, I understand it's a little hectic here. Things ain't really fair. Things ain't really, going how I want them to be. But that's okay. Because I'm not here for all that. I'm here to get this paycheck so I can fund my career, fund my talent, build a career, and build my talent so I can pass it off to my legacy, or I can get me and my spouse, me and my partner, me and my family out of this poverty lifestyle, this lifestyle where they got to go to a job where they're not respected, where they got to go the extra mile and come home tired and exhausted. You know, that's not living. Going to a job and you coming home and you can't even play with your kids. You can't even enjoy your family dinner, or just sit down and enjoy your family in general. You can't do that because you're so exhausted. And then all your days off, all you can think about is the workplace. Like it's a short lived weekend, and then you're back to the place that's draining the life out, the literal life out of you. So do what you can, people. Listen to podcasts like this. Uh do whatever you need, find whatever tools you need to get out of the lifestyle you're living that you're not happy with.
Hmm. And mhm. Find some people that's gonna hold you accountable. I don't
That
care
too.
about none of that shit that Mark
That,
just said. Like y'all need to find somebody that's gonna hold you accountable. That's gonna tell you when
big
your shit
facts.
stink. Like screw all that philosophy, that philosophical shit that he just said. It ain't even that deep, bro. It is. I promise you, it's
Facts.
not even that deep, bro. Just hang around some folks that's gonna tell you about yourself, and they gonna tell you about yourself on a realistic basis. Like find somebody who is where you want to be at. Find somebody that's where you want to be at, and let them tell you about yourself. Let them tell you about yourself. Because for real, most of y'all, the reason why y'all in the situation y'all in now is you ain't got no goals. You like real talk. You ain't got no goals. You don't fantasize about nothing. You ain't got no lifestyle you want to live. And like, if that's the case, and like I feel like everybody has a life that they aspire to be a part of, right?
Mm.
I feel like everybody has a life that they want to live, and nobody wants to live the life that they're in. So, with that being said, like I just this goes for management, I guess you could say bottom tier, tier one, whatever the case is. Like this goes for everybody, bro. Like you gotta find somebody that's gonna call you out on all your BS. And like for what, like the managers, like for real, like some of y'all managers at your job, like whatever it is, like you have a hard time talking to the people that are underneath you. So you need to find somebody. You need to lock arms with somebody beneath you. Like real talk. You can talk to
That's true.
somebody when you're in leadership. Like you gotta play both ends of that spectrum. You gotta pull from both sides because you got people down here that's doing the job for you. You in the middle overseeing everything, and then you got somebody on top of you overseeing you. You need to have a mentor above you, and you need to have an accountability partner beneath you, so that way you stay balanced, so you know exactly what the people need from you, and you stay 100% with them. And then you have somebody above you that's teaching you the ropes and telling you what you need to do to get to where they are. Because like for real, all this whole, this is my world, you living in my world, and you just do as I say and all this other stuff, like that ain't working for nobody. Ain't
Facts.
working for nobody but you. And when the hammer falls down, it ain't gonna land on nobody but you at the end of it. Cause me, I'm just gonna go home at 5:30. I promise
And
you, you
then
ain't about to make your emergency my emergency. So like for real, find somebody that's gonna hold you accountable for real. Like I promise you, that's gonna be the only way that y'all get this right, man. I promise you. Like I see so many people on a daily basis, man, on a daily basis doing whatever they want to do and get mad when the world don't respond the way they want to respond, and it's really sickening, bro. It really is so crazy. Like with the dude who you say he just posted something 2 days ago.
hmm
2 days ago, man. We had this conversation a month ago, bro. And you still at it?
hmm
You still doing the same thing, bro? What do you expect out of it? You done lost friends because of this. You done lost bro. What? And when somebody try to tell you that you messing up, you
Fly off the handles.
what?
He gotta speak his truth. He gotta let the world know.
That his truth is a lie? What is this truth? That's the part I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't understand that. What is your truth? Where are you going with this? What is the end result here? Like, what are we even talking about, bro? Man, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. But yeah, man, you gotta get somebody gonna hold you accountable, man. Because like obviously this podcast ain't enough. You're gonna have to find somebody that's gonna like see everything that you're doing and smack you upside the head whenever you do something wrong, man. Like
Big fact.
that's the only way to get through it, man. I think we are way past that time, huh?
We right on the money. We 8 minutes past the hour. So what we got coming up, Mac?
So I just finished coloring the kids book, man.
Okay.
I'm a little once I color it up and finish the color, like I'm down like the last 2 pages, literally, like of color. I'm gonna go back, add like shading, and then like differentiate, like make the characters pop out from the background or whatever, not the stuff like that, little stuff, man. Post production. Like I said, the story has already been written. It ain't nothing but like 20, like it's 24 pages. But yeah, man, it's coming together nice. I'm excited about I'm excited about finishing it. Not excited about marketing it because haven't really gotten that thing down right yet. Um, in it's still in progress of finishing book 5, and that's taking a little longer than I wanted to take. I haven't been really putting in the same level of energy into that as I should be. Probably because I got way too many projects going on, but that's neither here or there. We ain't got to talk about that, but that's just how I roll. I know it ain't right. I got that. I got that. It's But yeah, so few things in the iron right now. Just letting them steam up, man. Just letting them seize up. I'm still pushing stuff forward, man.
Word.
Oh, and also about to start school next month. So there's
Okay.
that.
Legit. All right. Not too much going on over here. Just been doing what I can. Other than that, ain't got much to bring forth. But this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. I always say with me is the Aaron Mack. Before we go, remember to trample over that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.